lot of people are definitely questioning the narrative.
The narrative specifically, as it relates to what's happening in Gaza, is something that people are not taking anymore.
No.
And not only are they not taking it, but they are taking it to them. They're taking it right to the heart of the matter. And so for those of you who have been paying attention to what's been going on in social media in the last,
I've been getting some hate.
Yeah, not even 24 hours. It's the last 12 hours. So for those of you who know, Jen has been a vocal leader in the Free Palestine movement, and there was a whole bunch of the Free Palestinian protesters, including the likes of Medea Benjamin. And if you haven't seen the video of her showing up at the pro-Israel rally and the people telling her to go get raped, well, you can understand that things are not too good on that side.
No, I've been getting a lot of hate, but here's the thing is that this is just the beginning, because this thing was just like not even 2 weeks ago. And I mean, I already got a phone call from a lawyer. Like I'm like, it's already going to just start for me. I can see it.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to play you a clip of what happened last night in front of the Democratic Party headquarters in Washington, D.C. Now, what you see is not exactly what's being sold in terms of what you're told is actually happening. So believe your eyes, because this is what happened last night.
Now, 7 News saw several of the officers in riot gear after U.S. Capitol Police called this an illegal and violent protest and arrested some of those involved. The protest started near the Democratic National Committee on South Capitol Street.
Live. Let Gaza live! 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 How many kids have you killed today? How many kids have you killed today?
They've just confirmed to us one person has been arrested. They also let us know 6 officers were treated for injuries ranging from minor injuries, cuts, to officers being punched, officers also being pepper sprayed. And we do, of course, we're showing you that video right now. This was taken by photojournalist Andrew Wofford. The groups we were speaking with out here tonight told us they wanted to be here to demand a ceasefire, but they say things quickly escalated.
Yeah,
I could tell you people,
because
this is so crazy.
Because those are the people that you just know were itching for a fight with the police, let me tell you.
Right. Those are the JVP peeps. For people who don't know, JVP is not starting trouble. They're not doing it. They're not going to provoke. What I think is happening, and I've thought this since way back with the Black Lives Matter, with all of it, is I think there are plants that are put into like these organizations that start the shit, that are cops. And then you see cops in full-on uniform breaking their own headlights and doing all sorts of crazy shit. But it's like, I was at a rally with like 300,000 people and saw no problems whatsoever.
But all of a sudden, when about 50 to 100 of them show up at the Democratic Party headquarters, now all of a sudden they decide that they want to get a little feisty.
But here's the thing, and the police were sprayed with pepper spray. I can assure you, as somebody who was just at the Stop Cop City protest the other day, the police, one, do not need any more instruction or training on how to kill us. They've got it down. I was walking with a group of people chanting "Love is our power," and you're facing down tanks and people in riot gear, and they're just itching to start something. So to sort of intimate that the JVP people, the people whose name is Jewish Voice for Peace, are the people that are starting a violent anything, is absurd.
Colin, can you get the tweet from Congressman Congressman Sherman, Brad Sherman from Los Angeles, who insists that it was the protesters who were attacking the police?
If that were the case, or it appeared to be the case, again, I would suggest that it is somebody dressed as a protester or somebody planted in that group. That is what I would suggest. So if just because somebody has a T-shirt doesn't necessarily mean that it isn't a planted person. I am just saying that the JVP people, if you can shut down Grand Central Station and be peacefully arrested, 400 people peacefully arrested, then you are not going to tell me that this organization is agitating violence. I don't buy it.
Was just evacuated from the DNC after pro-terrorist.
Oh my God, anti-Israel.
protesters grew violent, pepper spraying police officers and attempting to break into the building.
Not what happened. I wasn't there, and I'm telling you that's not what happened.
Thankful to the police officers who stopped them and for helping me and my colleagues get out safely.
You were scared of people like Rosalind Pacheski. She's 81.
Honest to God, are these people the biggest friggin' pussies walking?
That's what it is. First of all, pro-Hamas. This guy, like, if I were in Congress and I wanted to play the censure game, I'd be censuring him for this friggin' Islamophobic nonsense that he's putting out there. First of all, it's Jewish Voice for Peace, Brad.
It's not only
it's
that.
Jewish Voice for Peace. They're not they're not anti-Israel. They're not pro-Hamas. They're not, like, it's just so ridiculous.
And the amazing thing about it is if you go to our Instagram and Facebook pages and you look at the comments from the pro-Israel people that will be coming on there, there is nothing nuanced about their argument.
I like what she's saying.
Yeah, nothing nuanced whatsoever. It is this insistence of, you're on the side of Hamas.
Right. They just throw labels and names. That's it. You're pro-Hamas.
They don't care. It's not about Palestinian civilians.
No, but do you condemn Hamas?
Do you condemn Hamas? Are you in favor of the terrorists? Do you think Jews have the right to be alive? Is it
okay to cut heads off of Jewish babies?
If we don't kill all of them, they're going to come after us. Well, let me tell you something. The more you keep killing them, they are going to come after you.
Well, they are. We've created this self-fulfilling prophecy. See, I actually believe that we were taught that Arabs hate us and want to kill us. Mm-hmm. And now I would get that. If that were the case, I wouldn't even have to argue. I wouldn't even be able to argue with them. If I lived somewhere and I affiliated my captors as Jews and that's all I knew, I'd hate them. And I don't know that I would have the awareness and the wherewithal to say, okay, but it isn't all Jews. I don't think that I think when you are desperate and living under occupation and going through an ethnic cleansing, I don't really think that the burden should be upon you to distinguish whether the Jews that are your captors are representative or not of all Jews. How would you, who does that? Who would have to, really, you expect these young children to sit there and think, okay, well, it isn't all Jews, it's just these. All of your nonsense, all of you pro-Israel Zionist people are creating this level of anti-Semitism that we are never going to be able to pull back on.
Colin, go to our Congresswoman's Twitter page and pull up the image that she posted from her.
I know that I don't want to see
her very, very dramatic experience at the pro-Israel rally the other day. Which is just so symbolic.
And by the way, just for frame of reference, the Free Palestine rally estimated 300,000.
And can I just say,
the Israel rally, pro-Israel rally, 50,000. But we also are going to have to talk about the Detroit charter plane that they got left stranded on the tarmac.
And now apparently, because the Israelis are so incensed that this happened, they're talking about suing the airline.
Oh, please.
It's like there
are no more entitled people in the whole world.
There really isn't. And I will say,
the most entitled people in the world.
And can I just say, Tulsi, thank you for your service, but seriously, get the stepping already. You are
kick rocks.
Really, you're out there, and she's also out there saying that there were. And
so much for your anti-war stance.
Well, I wouldn't even expect as much from somebody like Richie Torres, who was the complete polar opposite of AOC in New York City. But I will say this: the idea that you are suggesting, and remember, they said that the Free Palestine rally had 300,000 people. Well, the people for the pro-Israel rally thought that they were going to get cute with the numbers, and they insisted that it was 290,000 people that showed up.
They're turning this into this ridiculous color war based on who is or is not okay with genocide. And then that's the teams. Pick a team.
Well, and Tulsi, of course, puts it out there saying, I was so proud to stand with the 290,000. It's like they get this talking point, and they insist that they have to stick with it. And if that's not enough, look, you're not going to be able to tell so much from this particular image, but it is giving you an idea of just how out of touch. And of course, you don't really see anybody else with this sign, but she, the very short-statured person that she is, insists that she must hold this sign.
Well, she probably wasn't.
Sky high.
This was for the picture. She wasn't real. It looks like it's candid, but I bet you anything it isn't.
I agree with you. I'm sure it wasn't candid.
It isn't. She told them to just get a shot of her, and she held the sign up. No one else is holding a sign. And you know what? You go, girl. You go stand with Israel and their genocide. You do that.
Be very proud.
That will be your legacy.
Now, if you look at the crowd size, and I am being as generous as humanly possible,
Amazing turnout today.
Something between 50 and at most 100,000 people. You jump that to 300,000 people. First of all, let's remember something about this particular rally that no one wants to talk about.
It was nasty.
The Free Palestine rally was completely grassroots organized.
Completely.
You had people come from all over the country, all over the world.
There were no chartered
to be
planes.
there. You have
the JCC's chartered planes.
APAC spent money to get
fly
people there.
in. It wasn't organic. It wasn't like people really were like, I care so much about this, I have to get there, like we saw with Palestine.
And the coup de grace, the one that no one wants to talk about, but somebody decided to leak it to the media because they just couldn't help themselves. They attempted to pay the student bodies of Washington, D.C., between GW, between Catholic, between American, between Georgetown, and everyone in between. They offered to pay them $250 to show up at this rally. And somebody decided that they weren't going to be quiet about it. They were going to say, no, I'm not being quiet. I'm letting you know.
Just, you know what?
So not surprising.
Not at all surprising. And you know what? But it really is inspiring to me because we know that, first of all, for every route you see, there's 50 you don't. So if they offered to pay them, then that means there's a ton of paid people there for whatever organization or whatever. If you're offering to pay people to come, you're offering to pay people to come. So now you know that not only is that crowd completely like dwarf by comparison to the rally 2 weeks ago, but it is also a fraudulent facade, because now we have to wonder how many of the people really paid to be there. And by the way, seriously, groups chartered planes, because there was a group from Detroit that had chartered a plane, and I guess they got down to DC to, I guess they were at Dulles. Mm-hmm. And then their bus driver found out basically why they were there and then refused to take them. And I guess then something else happened, but it's like, because history is not going to be with you people.
No,
it just isn't. This is really not going to age well. And you people that are clinging on, like in the grasping death throes of settler colonialism, you will be remembered as such.
Hey, look, I would have taken the $250 and showed up with a Free Palestine shirt or a sign.
But from what I did see about this is it was not peaceful. It was hateful. Very. And the reason I know, and here's the thing, and it doesn't surprise me at all, because growing up around Zionists, they are extremely bigoted and hateful.
But you think a lot of that's projection because of the fact that they know what they're doing is wrong.
No, they've always been like that. I just think that Israelis are some of the most entitled people. I mean, literally, you have an entire ethnicity created on entitlement and birthright to land that wasn't theirs. So their entire existence is that of entitlement.
But if you look at it, and again, that's why, like I said, Wasserman Schultz is very emblematic of this whole charade that's going on now. Yeah. She's holding up that sign like she is a victim.
Yeah, well, she always is the victim. She loves the victim.
Like they're all after us, and it's like no one is downplaying.
Jewish lives matter.
No one is downplaying the death of the innocent Israelis that were killed on October 7th. But in their mind, they want to pretend that they are innocent bystanders who did nothing wrong, that didn't bring this on themselves in any capacity whatsoever. They are saints among men, and that they can do whatever they want. But unfortunately, that's not the case.
Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.